It's 1:30. I'd like to call the meeting of the Traffic and Transportation Commission for 20 September 2021 to order. We'll go ahead and have a roll call. Commissioner Varnell.
Here.
Commissioner Littlefield. He's not available today. Commissioner Russell.
Here.
Commissioner Hale.
Here, sir.
Commissioner Schuline.
Here. Commissioner
Miller.
Here.
Commissioner George. He's not available today. And Commissioner Cornett.
Here.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion concerning the approval of the minutes of the August 16, 2021 meeting of the Traffic and Transportation Commission?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Commissioner Hale. Do we have a second?
Second.
And the second is from Commissioner Schuline. Okay. Is there any talk on the item? We have a motion to approve the minutes. Okay, so we have the motion to approve the minutes from Commissioner Hale, seconded by Commissioner Schuline. Can I have your votes, please? Okay, the item has passed. All 7 voted in favor. Report on licensed taxi and record service. Let's see, what month are we?
There's not one this month.
There's not one, it'll be next month, October.
I think so, yes.
Okay, we'll have one in October. Okay, item 4 is the consent docket. There's 3 items on the consent docket. Is there anybody here to speak against an item on the consent docket? Okay, staff, do you have any input on it?
We're recommending approval of all the items as presented on this docket.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have a motion on the consent docket?
I'll move that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Cornett. Do we have a second? Who's seconding? Okay, from Commissioner Russell. Any discussion on the consent docket? Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent docket from Commissioner Cornett, seconded by Commissioner Russell. And can I have your votes, please? Okay, all 7 have voted in favor. The item has passed. Okay, we go to item 5, items for individual consideration. Dana Huntman, no vehicles in excess of 2-axis restriction on Bell Drive between Northwest 60th Street and Goodyear Drive. Hi. If I could have your name, your address, and you have up to 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Dana Huntman, 6109 Bell Drive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I'm here today to request what you just said. Because in the past 5 years, probably we've gotten a lot more traffic at various times. And the most memorable one was the Thanksgiving, the Sunday before Thanksgiving 2020, a big truck comes down the street and you hear a large house shakes and took down the line over the street and 5 electrical poles. So we're without electricity and cable things again. Since the storm of October 2020, we've just gotten our power back. And that's all. I thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, do we have anybody else who want to speak on this item? Okay, staff?
All right, you've got comments before you. Action on this item is going to be at the discretion of the commission. We just want to reiterate that an axle restriction like this is to curtail the use of a residential street or a roadway that's really not set up to accommodate heavy vehicle traffic. It does not prohibit vehicles in excess of 2 axles if they've got business on the street. I mean, all the city sanitation vehicles have more than 2 axles. A lot of local delivery trucks, you might find a lot of those, like moving vans, will have more than 2 axles. But as far as, the use of the road for just to pass through as a matter of convenience. That's what the intent of this particular ordinance or restriction is to control. And so if you've got any questions on the application, I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have a motion concerning item 5A?
I move to approve as written.
Okay, we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Barnell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second from Commissioner Schuline. Do we have any talk on this item? Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5A from Commissioner Barnell, seconded by Commissioner Schuline. And can I have your votes, please?
You don't count. You don't count.
I pushed presentation.
Aye.
Are we
Here we
waiting
go.
on somebody?
Here we go. Aye. Red, close some of
Yeah,
your,
Red's got it.
close some of your windows. There you go.
Here it is. Okay, item is approved, 7, all in favor. Thank you. Okay, we go on now to item 5B, Erica Jones, PE, Project Engineer, CEC, Inc., to convert Northwestern Avenue between Northwest 16th Street and Northwest 18th Street from a one-way northbound street to a two-way street. I believe staff has some input on this.
Okay, since the last meeting, we received a memorandum from the Public Works Department's bond program manager indicating that the department was redesigning this particular project and was no longer going to seek two-way conversion of Western Avenue in order for this to be possible. So in essence, you've got a request to strike this particular item. I'm happy to answer any other questions you
Okay.
might have.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion on item 5B?
Motion to strike.
Motion to strike from Commissioner Schuline. Do we have a second?
Second. Second.
Yep, second by Commissioner Hale. Do you have any talk on this? All right, so we have a motion to strike item 5B from the agenda from Commissioner Schuline, seconded by Commissioner Hale, and we're ready to vote. All right, there it is. The item has passed, all 7 in favor, and so the item is struck. Okay, now we go on to item 5C, Jesse Rush, Assistant Director, Embark, to consider a recommendation to the Oklahoma City Council on an ordinance relating to motor vehicles and traffic, amending Chapter 32 of the Oklahoma City Municipal Code 2020, amending Article 2, add Administration and Enforcement, Division 4, Impoundment of Vehicles by amending Section 32-92, authorized generally, and amendment Section 3293, Vehicles constituting traffic hazards or obstructions. Do we have somebody here to speak on this item? Who wants to go first? It's up to you guys. We'll have Embark, all right? If I could have your name and your address, and you have up to 5 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Carlisle Barnaby. I'm the GM of the Oklahoma City Streetcar. Address 123 Northeast 2nd Street, Oklahoma City, 73104. How we view to support this is once we have any vehicles that are parked in accordance with the ordinance and they have violated, then we would tow the vehicle to an Embark surface lot located at E.K. Gaylord and Reno and E.K. Gaylord, etc. We'll also place a cone or something in that area to inform the owner of the vehicle that, hey, your vehicle was towed to this area. Once at the surface lot, we would apply a boot to the vehicle and install somewhat of a payment similar to our ticket vending machines so that they have to pay and to get the boot removed so in order to recover the cost of the towing itself. We foresee the supervisors of the streetcar along with security personnel performing this task in conjunction with security personnel. And that's it, quick and easy, hopefully.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Anybody else wanted to speak on this? Let me make sure here. Okay, nobody else wanted to speak? Staff, can I have your input, please?
All right, well, you've heard from the representative from Embark regarding the proposed amendment changes. What sets us apart from other applications is in the past, the police department has been the only division of the city that's been authorized to have vehicles towed. This, in conjunction with a state law, which is going to go in effect this November, will allow the director of a transportation authority to also be able to have vehicles removed. So happy to answer any other questions you may have, and Mr. Barnaby is here if you've got further questions on the item.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion concerning item 5C?
Motion to approve?
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Schuline. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Cornett. Do we have any discussion? I have a couple things. So in the current ordinance, I believe there's a towing option already. Am I correct? So the reason why this is as Mr. Chai said, is because now they can do it without getting the cops involved? Is that what the whole difference is? So it's the same problem. They're parked over the white line, they're in the traffic, the streetcar can't go by. Now, instead of having to call them and they come out and do the whole thing, they can just handle it amongst themselves.
Correct, and this is, to clarify, just along the streetcar route.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
just for the streetcars.
Yes.
Okay, and then you were mentioning cost. Is it going to be the same cost as would be associated if the cops came and said tow it?
That's currently being determined. We're having finance involved in reviewing those fees and costs. There are differences between when a police impound occurs, the wrecker service actually has fees themselves, whereas in this instance, it would be recouped by the department itself, the COTPA department. So it's just being reviewed at this time.
So when they say let's move the vehicle, do they contact the same wrecker service as the cops would, or do they have their own?
There's two different contracts. There's two different contracts, so two different contractors would be involved. One for the police department and one for the transportation department.
Okay. And we don't have to be involved with the cost part of it?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to ask about this? Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5C from Commissioner Schuline, seconded by Commissioner Cornett. Let's have your votes. All right, item has passed. All 7 have voted in favor. Okay? We go on now to item 6, comments from citizens. Is anybody out there that want to speak to the Traffic and Transportation Commission? Okay. I had a head shakes no from the audience. We did have somebody this time out there. Item 7, reports and other items from traffic commissioners, committees, staffs, and council in office. So we'll go ahead and go around the horseshoe here. Commissioner Varnell?
Nothing for me, but welcome back.
Thank you very much. I'll say something in just a second on that. We'll go to Commissioner Russell.
I'm good.
Okay, Commissioner Hale.
Nothing.
Okay, Commissioner Schuline.
Nothing. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Commissioner Miller.
I'm good, thank you, sir.
Okay, Commissioner Cornett.
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you very much for everybody up here, for all your comments and your prayers and your concerns. For the record, on the 4th of July, I had a heart attack. On the 7th of July, they cracked me open and did a triple bypass. And the actual triple bypass on the heart isn't the problem. The heart goes, yay. It's being cracked open for 4 hours and then being sewn back in, that your body, it doesn't like that. And tubes in you and different things. And so it was 6 days in the hospital after, and then 2 weeks at home on house arrest. And, you know, the only thing I could do, and they pushed me and they said, you have to do it, is you got to walk 10 minutes 3 times every day. And I'd just walk in the house. And that would wear you out. I mean, just think of that wears you out. And then it was a beautiful morning, like 68. Finally, we had a cool morning, and we went outside and walked for 10 minutes. And that just wore me out. Walking outside is totally different than in your house. But now I'm on physical therapy at the heart hospital for 36 sessions, 3 times a week, and they hook you up and they monitor your heart, they do everything, and they push you to a certain limit, and they keep pushing you, so that's working great. And then they also have the second part of it where they do counseling. They have a food class, yoga, lectures, and then they also have videos that you can watch. And it's to change your lifestyle to a more healthy lifestyle, so in the future you won't have to get back into that. So I just want to say to here, thank you very much. To everybody out there, what happened on the heart attack, and you know, being a guy, and we've all had the pains and hurting, so I just started to have a pain underneath my left breast. An hour and a half later, my back started feeling bad, so I changed to another chair. 5 o'clock, I laid down. It got up into my shoulder, into my left arm. I started sweating. My wife said I was pale. And she said, well, I'm calling 911. I'm like, why? It's just not getting better. It's okay, it'll get better. She's like, I'll call. The ambulance was right down the road. They were there in 3 minutes. But within 10 minutes, I was inside the ambulance. They gave me some nitro. And she asked me, the ambulance head person of the two, asked me what happened. I explained what just happened, and she said, don't do that again. I said, what do you mean? Well, why didn't you call? I said, because it wasn't anything. She goes, that's a heart attack. What you had is a heart attack. And I'm like, but I wasn't laying on the ground, flopping around, doing like you see. And she goes, that's not a real heart. The normal heart attack is an artery going into the heart that feeds it, gets blocked, and the heart goes, I don't like that. Ow. And that's what you get. And that's what I had. I had a small artery that had a 100% blockage, and that created the pain. But there was no heart damage. And while he was in there looking around with the angiogram on Monday, he saw an 80% and a 90% block on the Widowmaker one. And that's where he had an option of putting stents or recommending bypass surgery. And with my age and being in shape and everything, he recommended doing the bypass, because that lasts forever, whereas stents are only 8 to 10 years. And then they got to go back and put him back in. So that's how the bypass happened, and it turned out to be a actual triple, because while he was in there, he went around the 80, he went around the 90, but then he found a 50. And so he had to take more vein and go around there too. So as on the 4th of July was my 4th day as a true retired person, and I didn't even get one paycheck. So I was like, I don't want to die yet. I need some of that retirement money. So, but it was good. It was the right time to actually see that. We caught a lot of stuff. So as you're out there, you know, you have to take care of yourselves, be in shape, physical fitness, eat properly. You know, one of the things that they preach is sodium, salt. Everything has salt. You need to look at the salt, at the labels, how much salt, and you're only supposed to have like 1,600 whatevers. And most things you have like 400, 500 things of salt per serving. And so you need to watch your salt. That's a biggie. And of course, fruits and vegetables are great. So it was a great thing that it did happen, knock on wood, and I feel like I'm coming back. Last week, I actually could go all day and not feel like a nap. I was concerned about this meeting, being able to talk so long, if I could handle the exertion, but I knew that Mr. Hale was here, ready to go, because he filled in the last two times, so he was ready to go if I needed to stop. So that's one of those public service things, you know, please, if you start feeling something that's not the same, and then it gets worse instead of better, because I was like, well, it'll get better. It's a indigestion. But it didn't get better, and the wife made the right call and said, okay, we got to call. You know, nobody wants to go to the hospital. Nobody wants to have an ambulance come see you and take you off, and so. But the heart hospital, we're very lucky to have what we have here in the city. I went to the one on 240 because that's in Ward 4. It's right down by where I live. They also have it up there by the Kirkpatrick Turnpike, I believe. So we're very lucky to have such tremendous skilled people. And to them, it's not a thing. Yeah, we're going to cut you open, just trade you out. We're going to do all this, and I'm going to take this and do this, sew it all up, put it back together, and you'll be fine in a couple weeks. And you're like, okay. And then, you know, when I wrote my actual thank you to the doctors who actually did that, they're like, why are you thanking me? Well, because you're a special person, because that's not what normal people do. They don't break people open and fix them. So we're very lucky to have skilled people like that out there doing things that let us live. So that's my spiel for here. I don't have any traffic stuff. I just wanted to, we had a little bit of time. I want to get everything out of you I can, because we pay you great. All right, so that's what I have. LT, do you have anything, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thanks for all you guys do out there. Council?
Just glad to have you back.
Oh, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, staff, how are we doing?
Okay, we've got our standard monthly report for yield and parking restrictions installed administratively. Just a reminder for the commission that the election of officers will be next month. So time to start campaigning.
Oh,
And I just want to wish our municipal councilor, Haley, good luck in her upcoming adventure in motherhood. We will not see her again until next year.
But next week, right? Or earlier? Right, or earlier. Yeah. Okay, does anybody else have any business for the Traffic and Transportation Commission? All right, we stand adjourned. All right, LT, good job.